this is such a unique space here in Oviedo Mall.
Yeah.
And how many sets do you have?
15.
Okay, so they are stationary sets that filmers and producers and photographers can use.
Basically, anyone that has an idea can come in and try to create something.
Have you been craving an adventure that goes beyond the typical tourist experience? What if you can truly connect with the destination, unearth its hidden stories, and meet the people who make it tick? The ONSC podcast offers you exactly that.
This isn't just a travel podcast. It's an invitation to connect with a place on a deeper level.
I'm Colby Gonsalves.
I'm Jessica Pickering.
And I'm Karen Applin.
And this is the ONSC podcast.
Thank you for joining us today on the ONSC podcast. I'm Karen Applin, and today we are with the Emmy-nominated producer and the owner and operator of studiolotorlando, Beth Wheatley. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course.
So to get this started, and because of where we are currently located, and I think it's appropriate to begin questioning here.
Absolutely.
What is one thing that you'd like to share with our audience that maybe people don't know about you?
Well, I think you mentioned it. I did get nominated for Emmys twice, in 2016 and 2018, for a series on Netflix called Eastsiders. Actually started as a passion project for a friend of mine. I did a stage show of showgirls in drag at the time, and he loved the show, so he was like, hey, would you help us with our project? And that's basically how I fell into it.
That's awesome. And so this is such a unique space here in Oviedo Mall.
Yeah.
And how many sets do you have?
15.
Okay, so they are stationary sets that filmers and producers and photographers can use. How does that work?
Basically, anyone that has an idea can come in and try to create something. So content creators, we've had everyone from ABC 2020 come in here to film, to political ads that have come in here to film. So if you have an idea or concept, you're making an indie film, or you just want to play around with your camera and equipment. We've had people who literally just brought their camera and equipment, so they had an idea on how to shoot something. And we allow anyone that has an idea to come in and have a good time.
That's cool. And we're currently in a police station right now. With all of your sets, what all type of sets do you have? Why did you maybe choose those specifically?
We try to choose sets that you can't just walk into and go like, hey, buddy who runs this place, can I use it to film? You're not going to get a police station that's just going to let you come in and film. Usually, sometimes you can find ones that are closed or something that were a police station years ago. But we also have a hospital, a classroom. We even have a bar. And you say, well, I know someone who has a bar. But the problem with that is that they have to turn off all their equipment and allow no guests in while you're filming, which then the bar person is like, oh, I thought you were just going to come in and it's going to bring people into my business.
Right.
Unfortunately, it has to be dead silent. And so you'd have to turn off all coolers. You'd have to turn off all the
They have to
machines.
close their business essentially get that done.
Yeah, so that's the reason we have a bar, because, we can shut off everything in here and you can still have the essence of a bar. We even have an office because sometimes people don't want people filming in their office for privacy. Same with the hospital, right? The hospital's going to let you. We have a fake jail. We have an interrogation
Wait,
room.
Scrubs is not filmed in a real hospital?
Yeah, I know.
What?
What? Real hospital. We have a courtroom. We even have a little mini television station style. And we have a morgue and an old hotel room.
I have not seen the morgue
Yeah,
yet.
the morgue's in the back.
Okay, we're going to check that out later. Cool.
But yeah, we have 15 different sets that allow people to stay in one location. So you're not going, okay, well, we're going to drive here and film here, load everything back up, go here, film here. Where a lot of it, if you look at most films, they have one of these sets in.
Yeah.
Not per se mine, but they have one of these kinds of sets.
Yeah, and when you think about being in a mall, I think that comes with a lot of potential outliers that could cause sound issues, but it's like just being in here, I can't hear anything from the outside. And also the parking situation is incredible. There's unlimited parking pretty much. There's a food court here if the crew gets hungry. It's not just a one-stop shop in here, but it's pretty convenient too for anyone filming, especially like long term, like
Absolutely.
full days.
We've had people who are like, oh, we forgot, and they'll go to Dillard's and get a shirt.
Yeah.
If someone, wants to get something specific to eat, because they have a special diet, and maybe that they have got pizza for everybody. They can go and get a salad.
Yeah.
You can get your hair cut. There was someone that needed to get their hair cut. There's literally a barber right next door.
Also, just sitting in this space specifically, I just notice all the little details you have here. So it's not just the set. There's also really unique props that you would actually find in a police station. They're like a whole back wall of specific things you would find. Yeah. So there's so many little details that you also incorporate into the sets, which makes it more realistic and also allows people to not have to bring all of the props with them when they come to film. Mm-hmm. Do you have any, like, I don't know if it's in this one or if it's any of the other sets, but do you have any specific like little Easter eggs that you hide?
And some of them, I do have some things that came from my father. He passed away right before I opened this. So I do have that in some other sets, but in this set in particular, I have actually some photos that we used and a series that we filmed also in Sanford called Spilled Paint. And you'll see this if you watch the series, these shots, because we also filmed it inside this area. But it was a FBI office at the time. A lot of these shots are from our series, and a lot of them are from other people who have come in and filmed. They put their stuff up, and they're allowed to, and then sometimes they'll leave it.
So every time there's a film done in here, they get to see themselves incorporated into that film.
Absolutely. If they want to leave the photo, then we let them leave it.
So I think there's a lot here that sets you apart from other studios, but are there any other studios that are similar?
We're pretty much the biggest right now. There are a couple other studios that have a couple of sets. Mm-hmm. This is a growing industry, and you have to know that going into it. It's not a big moneymaker right now, but it's growing because of content creation. Mm-hmm. And everything online right now is created in spaces, and it's no longer just on TV, on film, right? You've got your TikTok videos, you got your Instagram videos. So with all of that, they're using more spaces like this. So yes, we're pretty unique to the area. We're the biggest in Central Florida, and we have the most sets.
Was there a moment, I guess, leading up to creating this space where you already knew that you wanted to make this for people? You knew it was a need, you knew that people wanted this?
It was an accident, really. I had to come take care of some family in Florida. I was a producer in LA, and then started filming stuff in my own home, and realized, this is getting tight, right? Just, when I would do stuff myself, and then I'd hear other people needing things. I know, enjoy. And when I did that, I worked on another project right after COVID, and they needed a hospital set, and I helped them build it. I, in my past, have done set design and stuff like that. I just never used it. I just could do it. So after I did it, I was like, I wonder if this is something that would be useful in Orlando initially. So I built a small one in Orlando, downtown, was there for 6 months, and it blew up. And I was like, whoa, well, trying to get space that's larger in Orlando is more expensive, especially with it being a business that's ebbs and flows. Mm. So I initially moved to Longwood into a warehouse, and I was there for 1.5 years, and the property got bought, so we had to find another place. And then that's when the Oviedo Mall and Josh gave us an opportunity to move into an old retail space.
Looking for real adventures in Central Florida that you don't have to wait 4 hours in line for? Do Orlando North.
Explore the magic of nature that the theme parks just can't touch with the ONSC podcast.
So now we're in the courthouse.
Yeah.
This is just another really cool set that you have here. And I imagine it'd be really difficult to get to film in this space in real life. So this is really cool that you have it. So we touched on being in the Oviedo Mall. We talked a little bit about working in Seminole County, but is there a specific reason why you chose Central Florida area to have your business in?
I mean, I was born and raised in DeLand, went to Deltona High School. So this has been my area. I worked at Disney for years. Central Florida has a lot of different wonderful things about it. I think the film industry in the 90s definitely, took off and has slowed down, but I feel like it has come back. It's slowly coming back, and a lot of people are moving from other states to Central Florida. Especially right after COVID, you saw those numbers popping up. The mayor was saying how many people were coming to Florida right after COVID because they saw the opportunities here. So this is home to me. So I guess, no matter what, I would have chose it.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Film-wise, I know a lot of people were, during COVID, a lot of people were going to Georgia to do film, but a lot of people from California were coming to Florida to do film as well. Is there any specific advantages to filming in Florida?
They're definitely working on trying to get better tax incentives here. That's the big thing. That's why Atlanta took off. Those tax incentives that filmmakers can have really help in the end. So basically they're helping not only employ the people that are in the area, they're getting a tax incentive basically coming off their bottom line once they turn in their taxes, but it also allows places to be iconic. So there are tours now for Stranger Things that are in Georgia because Stranger Things was filmed in Georgia. So that's driving more people to come to Georgia, take those tours, eat at those places, take those photos. So it has an effect that lasts over just the time that they're filming. It lasts for years.
I remember, I think it was in Savannah?
Mm-hmm.
I did the Forrest Gump tour.
Yeah, Forrest Gump tour.
Yeah. So where they have the seat where he sits
bench,
and he eats his box of chocolates.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I did that, and apparently it's obviously a very iconic movie, but that bench specifically, because it is, a piece of the film, has been taken multiple times, and they've had to put it down into the cement to make sure no one does it again. But that's like a cool memory that I have that's associated to travel and to a movie specifically.
Exactly.
How do you see, the marriage of film and tourism?
Well, I mean, I think the great thing about film in general is it shows people places maybe they've never seen. Some people live in, a very cookie cutter home and have never seen, the beaches, or maybe have never seen the grungy alleys. The great thing I can say about like the Orlando North area, especially Sanford, has such great, that aged look, so you can go down an alley and that could look like a New York alley, but it's Sanford.
Yeah.
The Spilled Paint series that we did, we filmed Miami. It was Sanford and the harbor at Sanford, but we filmed it as Miami. So that's the great thing about the area, is that it has so many things that can be other things because of the type of area that it is. It has woods, it has water, it has old buildings, it has new buildings. So that's the great thing about the Orlando North area.
Sanford does have a tie-in to a bunch of movies.
Tons.
I know My Girl was shot there, but is it like around the 90s and 2000s?
That's when it took off.
Yeah. What kind of other movies were shot in the Sanford and in our area?
Yeah, in the Sanford area specifically, I personally know of Passenger 57. They had built a huge carnival down there, just built it and filmed. My friend had a church that they wanted to use for the film. Also Monster with Charlize Theron that she won an Oscar for, was some scenes were filmed there because a lot of the actual story happened in the Volusia County up to Sanford area. So Sanford is such a good filming. They love filming there. Every time I've worked with them, they've been nothing but obligating to us and being very nice. And then Rosewood, most recently, it's probably the most recent one that I'd heard of, is Rosewood, which is a great film too.
I know of two other ones that you happen to be involved in, and first of all, Spilled Paint.
Yeah.
Your Spilled Paint series. Can we kind of dive into what that's all about?
Sure.
And all of the places you shot?
Yeah. I then came on as an executive producer, which is not only doing the work itself of finding the locations, getting the contracts, also paying for a lot of it to be made. So I was involved in that. And then when I was finding locations, of course, I'm going to choose places that I know, which obviously was Sanford. Like I said, we used the marina there. We used the government building right next to the marina. And then we used our studio itself because that was here in Oviedo. We could use that. So we had a lot of those things to use. Also, I did another one called I Win, which is currently on Amazon Prime right now, where we filmed at Lake Howe High School, and also the Oviedo Bowling Alley. So that one's already
That's
on
the
Amazon.
entire county.
Yeah. They're already, we're on Amazon already for I Win, and Spilled Paint will be coming out here shortly on hopefully Tubi and other platforms.
And we're back recording live from Studio Lot Orlando.
Yes.
Where we haven't moved very far, but it looks like we have. This is our newsroom.
Yeah.
Or your newsroom.
Yes, this can be ours.
Our
You're in it,
newsroom?
so it's yours now. Yes, this is our news set. So you can do nighttime talk shows. You can do breaking news. Like I said, music videos have used this to, talk about their song and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is really cool. Also, I just learned while we were on break that she is a chinchilla, which I'm surprised she didn't use that as her interesting fact.
That's true.
So I thought we would share that too. So for aspiring artists, for aspiring photographers, creators, cinematographers, anyone, do you have any advice for them, whether it's getting into the industry or how they can maybe start here, get involved to get some practice?
Yeah, I mean, I always say do something, even if it's something small. So like if you're just starting out, I definitely recommend short films. Those are 3 to 5 minutes. They don't take a lot of time to make. They do take time. It doesn't take you 3 to 5 minutes to make a 3 to 5 minute. That can take you 3 days sometimes, right? Depending on what you're filming. But I do recommend to start small and then start putting it in festivals. There are all sorts of festivals available on a thing called Film Freeway, where you can submit to festivals all over the world. And the prices range from free to, $50, but you can submit to all over the world without even going there. Sometimes they'll just judge it online. Sometimes they do have huge events. So I say start small and then work your way up, and then you start networking, right? So you get people, and through those festivals and or through your film that you made, that you start meeting people, more cinematographers, more sound people that can help you for your next project, and then just grow from there.
So it requires you getting out of the social media space.
Yes.
And into the world of human interaction.
Yes, that's true.
I love that. So get yourself out there. I love that advice. I know you mentioned that you're getting your new wall put in.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out about when that's coming, is the best way to follow you on social media?
Yeah, so we're hoping getting our LED wall within the next 3 months. And then if you would like to see that process, you can follow us on social media on Studio Lot Orlando on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, just Studio Lot Orlando, and you'll find us.
Awesome. And if people want to book and or come in and check out the space, how do they do that?
Sure, studiolotorlando.com. Hit the button that says book now. You can also see all the photos of our studio itself, other things that have been done here. You can even take a virtual tour of the studio. So there's a YouTube link that'll take you through the entire studio space, and you can check us out.
And we'll put all that in the description, all that information and the links to get there in the description box on the bottom of the YouTube video. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. That was really fun. Y'all better come check this place out because it's really cool. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us at Do Orlando North to see and check out all the other things that we have going on in the area.
If you're looking to learn more about what's going on in Orlando North, Seminole County, make sure you follow us at Do Orlando North.
Tag us on social media at Do Orlando North for a chance to be featured on our page. The ONSC podcast you just heard reflects the opinions of only the host and guests who are associated persons of Orlando North Seminole County and does not reflect the views of Seminole County government. The ONSC podcast is for informational purposes only. For more information on Orlando North, Seminole County, follow us on social media at Do Orlando North or visit our website at www.doorlandonorth.com.